If you have watched any other videos that I've created, you probably know that my belief very much in estate planning is that the primary purpose, the goal is to focus on the relationships that you've created throughout your life and to strengthen them and to preserve them. So after you've passed away, they continue to exist. And of course, mainly it's the family relationship that I'm talking about. For some people, it's not, but for majority of people, it is. So this past couple of weeks, some clients came in and they expressed to me a concern that they had. And their concern was they had lost a relationship with one of their children that they deeply loved. And they wanted to get it fixed. Now, when they said this, it brought back something that I read something a long time ago. I can't remember where I got it from, but I'm going to give it as, how do you repair relationships that have been destroyed? Like how can you heal a relationship that has suffered a lot of damage? Now, the first and foremost, before I start anything, you have to understand people have the right to choose, and you can't force people to be in a relationship with you. And so I started off with my client saying, hey, you can't force your kid to be in a relationship with you. However, there are words that you can say that can heal a relationship. And so I gave them this word of wisdom that was given to me a long time ago, and it's 4 statements that you make. And I call it throwing a fit. F. This is the first part of this. Forgive me. One of the most powerful words that you can say is forgive me. Now, this is something very difficult to say. Human beings believe that they are good. And we all believe it. And we all really are good to a point. But we always believe it about ourselves, that we're a good person. So to admit that you may have done something wrong in a relationship is very difficult. And saying the words forgive me, just thinking about it. Think of someone in your mind that you want to repair a relationship and saying those words, forgive me. But when you utter those words, forgive me, you get to admit that you're wrong and you offer space for something to happen. So the first statement I tell people is say, forgive me. Please forgive me. The next I is I love you. When you make an expression of love to someone, it's hard for them to come back angry at you. So first is please forgive me, then I love you. The next T is thank you. Thank you for everything that you've done for me. Thank you for the friendship that you gave me. Thank you for being a good son. Thank you for being a good daughter. And the last is I'm sorry, S. Sorry for what I have done wrong. Sorry for not being there when you needed me most. And I call this throwing a fit. You can throw a fit. It is almost impossible for someone to not respond positively in some way. Now, of course, if you do this with somebody, they might not want to be in a relationship with you. So you're opening up yourself to a possibility that you may extend a loving hand and they reject it. And that's hard and that is painful. And to a lot of people, they just can't handle that. So be prepared for the fact that you may extend a loving hand to someone and they just choose not to accept it. That's the reality of life sometimes that's going to happen. The key is in that moment. Someone may reject you at the beginning, but understand if they reject you and you respond still with love, you've increased the degree of trust that person will have with you. If you're ever with somebody and you treat them unkindly and they respond in a kind, understanding manner, and you know you've hurt them, you trust them just a little bit more. So next time you interact with them, you're willing to give them the benefit of the doubt. But this is what I encourage you to do. If you are struggling with someone, think of somebody in your mind that you wish that you could form a relationship. And maybe you can't say these words to them. It'd be too difficult, but you could write them in an email. I mean, you could start off an email very simply saying, I want to express to you that I love you so much and you've meant so much to me in your life. I hope you can find it in your heart to please forgive me for not always being there. I thank you for the friendship that you once gave me. And I'm sorry that we don't have it right now. I wish. Now, You have to be very careful in how you do this. This has to be genuine. It has to be from the heart. It has to be that you truly feel like you caused some of the wrong in the relationship. This can't be, oh, I'm just saying this to manipulate you. That's not genuine. It won't come across, and so it won't work. To do this, you truly have to find it in your heart where you did the wrong in the relationship and how you can right it. And if you try that and if you do it, and like I said, they may not respond. They may respond in a very negative way, but still continue to take in that pain that you may feel and not react back. That will be your most powerful thing. And to my clients, I express this to them, and to any of my clients in the future that want to somehow heal a relationship with a lost child, that's how you have to start it. And it takes time. But I promise you, as you continue that, eventually you can break somebody. Eventually somebody will come around. But that's how you do. Throw fits. Please forgive me. I love you. Thank you. And I'm sorry for what I've done wrong.